It's out with the old and in with the new here at Albert Park as we usher in what we hope will be a triumph. New era of Formula One racing. For our drivers, though, it's very much business as usual, as they look to be first across that line and get their championship off to a winning start. Just south of Melbourne's downtown business centre is the one and only Albert Park circuit. 3.3 miles of public roads, all closed for the weekend of course, make for a bumpy racing surface with little undulation. There are 16 corners around the lake, but a couple of good passing opportunities as well, thanks in part to the DRS zones into Turn 1 and Turn 3. Today's race, of course, not simply the start of a new season, but the start of a new kind of Formula One. Anthony Davidson, great to have you with us once again. This is a big moment for the sport. Big changes to the technical regulations. The potential, perhaps, to give us the biggest shake-up since 2014. Very different cars visually and, fingers crossed, much faster as well.
Good thing then that combined these teams put in just a shade over 13,000 kilometres on the clock during testing. The cornering speed of these new machines is absolutely unbelievable. How many lap records are still held by Michael Schumacher from 2004? Well, on the right day, on the right tyres, we might just be threatening them this year. Wider tyres, wider cars, more downforce. I have to say they look great, and the qualifying spectacle is undebatable. Now the big question remains, can they follow? Can they race? Or have these new rules gone too far?
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Bottas, a Red Bull, and Ricciardo, Ocon, Grosjean, Perez, and Felipe Massa, Hülkenberg, Palmer, Kevin Magnussen, and Kvyat, Stroll, Sainz, Pascal Wehrlein, and Marcus Ericsson. Van Dorn and Fernando Alonso starts from the back of the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
You should have some space going into the first corner, so try to keep it tidy. that at the next race. Not our best day by any means.
And Mercedes have pulled off a great victory here today. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
So as I say that, we can see the drivers coming out now to collect their trophies. It's yet more silverware to take back to their base in Brackley after another excellent Grand Prix. And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. Valtteri Bottas takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after an excellent result. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Fernando Alonso. Wherever he is, whatever team he's in, when is he not just brilliant? He'll give you a performance every time, just like he's done today.
On to the constructors then. Mercedes moved to the top of the table. Well, what a weekend that has been. Please join us next time for another thrilling instalment of this Formula One season.